Okay, welcome to another one of my quoting webinars. And this evening's webinar, we're going to be looking at the manufacturer Dahua CCTV, and we are pleased to be doing this with Mast Digital. So these guys are a specialist security and AV distributor within the industry. They have a live linked catalogue to the WeQuote platform that updates every single day with thousands of live stocked items with all your trade pricing and your unique trade pricing for whatever type of discount tier you're on. And they really see the benefit of trying to help their users and WeQuote users and giving them live pricing and also some of the options we've pre-built, which we're going to go through in the proposal. I've also got on the call today Lee Turner from Cubtech Security.
How you doing?
Say hello, Lee.
How you doing, everyone?
And I've also got Andrew Musgrove, who is our onboarding specialist for WeQuote.
Everybody.
And yeah, okay, so let's jump straight in. I don't want to start waffling on because I'm good at that. So let's dive straight in and let's keep moving. So just today's is going to just have a quick run through the platform, creating a quote. This is obviously industry specific for CCTV, and we're also going to be showing the benefits of working with Mast and how the live link pricing works, and also options and choosing camera colors and things like that. And so and we want to try and make sure that we're doing a nice, clearly defined proposal, and then also then sending this quote out. If you don't know us or you're new to WeQuote, my background is I've actually run my own business for over 15 years, doing security systems, electrical, AV, IT, for anything from schools, airports, high net worth individual houses, you name it. I've been there and done it, wore the t-shirt. So I know a lot about running an installation business, and I've probably spent 15 years of my evenings quoting jobs every single night. So hence where WeQuote came from. And I met Lee, when did I meet you, Lee? It was about a year ago now, was it?
Yeah, about a year ago when I first started the platform.
And Lee seeing the light of WeQuote. It was as I say to everyone, we're all on the same lake in different boats when it comes to quoting, because none of us get paid to do it, which is pretty true.
Yeah.
The platform is cloud-based. You know, it's not server-based. You don't install anything on your computer or anything like that. It's all based in the cloud. Okay, so it's never going to go down, but you will need an internet connection. But that is your fourth utility now. I don't think no one's ever not got an internet connection. Our big USP is live link prices. What is that? That is basically all the times in the evenings when I used to be constantly checking my prices with my suppliers and checking them, sending my quotes, make sure everything was up to date. You do not need to do that anymore. You never need to update a price list. You never need to import a price list, export a price list. You never need to worry about the prices that you're buying at. It's automatically going to pull through and set unique to your account with that supplier, i.e. Mast in this case, and it's always going to be up to date. The interface itself, built from the ground up to basically get your deals over the line. And, you know, I've been building WeQuote for nearly 9 years now. Originally started off with just my own quoting system. It was never intended for anyone else. It was just my own tool to help me win my jobs. And it just started growing legs and people started asking me for it. And then it's just growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I pride myself on the UX UI, that user interface experience, and also the speed in which the software works as well. So the quotes we're going to be looking at is obviously a SSAIB template and also an interactive template. So something unique to how WeQuote works is the way you build the quote is kind of standardized. So we have lots of different types of templates and a structure, or let's say a process of building a quote, but the output, i.e. the proposal, can look however you want. Right? So if you're in the SSAIB or you're in a governing body, well, they stipulate the style and all the information that's got to be presented to the customer. But sometimes these governing bodies proposals are not engaging at all for a customer to understand all of this tech that you're trying to provide within their property. So within WeQuote, you can have different proposals, outputs off the same quote. So you could send them an interactive quote, not just a PDF. And if they sign and accept it, well, then they can get the PDF version of the SSIB approved quotes and template. And that's what I want to sort of show today. And obviously, this is the proposals. Like I said, you can build the proposals any way you want, really. You know, your hands are not tied when it comes to your proposals. So you can have a PDF. We do interactive web quotes. We give you a framework to work to. And if you're not happy with that, we do a bespoke onboarding service, and you can basically have, within reason, whatever you want. And if you do want to speak to us about that, just get in touch on email, and Andy will assist you with those things. Keep moving. So when you log into the platform, you're going to be presented with a list of questions. It's going to ask you about your business. The next thing it's going to do, it's going to start asking you, who do you buy from? In this case, we're going to look at Mast Digital. This is live linked to your account, and as I just said, it's going to pull through all your pricing, and then you can then browse their catalogue. So it's very catalogue specific. WeQuote is not a price comparison. It's not a search engine for price. It's not about a race to the bottom with suppliers. It's about us in the evenings choosing the right product at the right price from the right supplier, whoever you work with. So if I just say TR, you can find that there, and then you've got your cameras and stuff. So then on the overview, this is giving you a look at an overview of your whole dashboard across the platform. So what quotes you've got on in progress. Here's any sales staff that you've been, that may employ any employees you have, your best selling systems, and also if you've got anyone clocked in, any engineers and stuff like that. But I'm not going to talk about any of the project management stuff this evening. It's just going to be quoting only. So you go to quotes, and I've got a pre-built quote that I've already working on tonight, which is this one here. And this is the quote summary. So logically, when I was designing the system, we were going to run through it, and I wanted to try and build this process of like looking at the quote from a high level, or then drilling down into it by using the quote editor, then price adjustments, setting my VAT rates, then my proposal view, and planning any changes if the customer's doing revisions and change orders, and then looking at my cost and billing and any project notes or the quotation notes. So I just go back to quote summary. On this widget, the top widget here, we're looking at the summary page. We're saying how much the cost price of the materials is, what's the sell price of the materials. Same for the labor, cost price of the labor, sell price of the labor. You can view it in hours or in days, up to you. So when you're doing your labor, you can either set it by hours, you can either set it by days, however you want to do it. We're not bothered. And then it'll give you a total margin of the project.
And the nice thing is that's always up to date, isn't it? So as soon as you make any changes, you can see instantly what you
Yes, this is so you're adjusting quantities, adjusting labor, adding a few hours here, there, tweaking it or fine-tuning the job. You're always going to look back in this section. It's just that sort of like high-level view of seeing everything in one snapshot. And then obvious things like sent, quote dates, expiry dates, accepted dates. Then you've got your quote details, which is like the name of the quote number, the assignee, who it's to. And then we've got these buttons here, make it visible to all users. So there's limitations on who can see what. And also you can save your quotes as well. So if it's let's say you build like a nice, decent looking quote. You can save that as a reference quote, and then other people can just copy, paste, move bits from it and drag it into another quote. So it's all about time saving. I always say to people, if you are repeating yourself, then you know you're doing something wrong. And then WeQuote about copy, paste, merge, and clone and stuff like that. And that's how you start to speed up the quoting process. And the best bit is if you copy a quote from 6 months ago, and then Dahua's at a price increase, maybe Masters discontinued a certain product range, well, then it's automatically going to supersede it. It's going to tell you that the product's been discontinued. It's going to tell you then on that new quote, it's going to say, hey, here's a list of products where there's been a price increase.
That's another feature that's really handy, because products do go up and down in value. You know, and to be able to see it instantly, as soon as you go into WeQuote, there's a little icon that states that there's been a price change. You can go on, you can see the price change. If it's just a small fluctuation, you can deal with it. But if it's a big one and it's a big job, you know, you could be talking hundreds, thousands in difference. So it's good to have that visibility as soon as you come back into WeQuote.
And it's a good thing where you can choose to either swallow the cost or not. Yeah. And at that point, you can approach the customer and say, since we've accepted this quote, there's been a price increase. So you can set that within the platform, so it can automatically price update if the customer hasn't signed it, and it never goes out a day. So you could send a customer a quote and he hasn't looked at it for 6 months, a year, but then it's always going to be up to date if you set that, so it's like auto price update. Then we go to this main panel here, which is the products, your labor, any subscriptions. So they would be service level agreements, maybe SIM cards, anything that's a monthly, weekly, quarterly recurring cost, or annually or biannually, whatever it is, we would class that as a subscription. Then you've got the summary. So like I say, the quote summary section, it is there to view as a summary. But when we start and building up a more detailed advanced quote, simple itemized list like this, the wheels kind of start to fall off at that point. Whereas really this, if you're doing like simple camera changes, a few little bits and bobs, then you would just use the quote summary section, adding in products from your suppliers. But for this demo, we're going to use the quote editor. So the quote editor originally was, you know, my original sketches, I designed this nearly 10 years ago. And I wanted to be able to view everything that I was selling in one shot. And that's what this enables me to do. So here we call this tree, we call the systems. So this might be the disciplines, the services, the categories. I call it a system, we call it systems. So you might be your CCTV or VSS if you're SSIB approved contractor, or it might be electrical, it could be intruder, access. And we can bring these in from pre-built templates. So these could come from suppliers. You can build them yourselves. And it's here to help you. So if I say like intruder alarm, I can add that in, and then it adds it in. And then I've got all my detectors and stuff like that. So I'm just going to remove that out though. Get rid of that. In this instance, we've got our VSS visual surveillance system. Yeah. Okay. And then as part of that, you have these things called subsystems, which in our heads, if we have a security system, that is broke down into either the types of cameras that we're going to be selling to the customers, the networking infrastructure that everything all hangs off the back of, and then even down to racks, maybe towers, and then your installation as well. So we're breaking that system down into these subsystems to work out like a nice view of our costs. And once you have we call this section up here a toolkit. So this is your favorite items that you like to use, and you can pre-populate this yourself. So if I click this little edit pencil here, you just tell me where I'm buying it from. I can go to my link catalogs, choose my link catalog, and then I can say search for the camera, and then I can put a camera in there, add, and then I can move these around as well. So you can,
great, because everyone's got favorite cameras that have go-to solutions, some that work in more situations than others, let's say, and that's literally, it's a one-click add, isn't it, Lee? Dead easy.
Yeah, and then you can start to build up your cabling, your back boxes, and all your little bits of sundries that go with these items. And we just remove that out, take that out, because we don't want a turret with the bullets. And then what we do then is, once we've added our systems and subsystems in, then we start to build up a building structure. So if we say we've got like the main house here, and then we've added some areas in. So just to show you what we're going to be pricing is, we're going to look at this property here. So mainly pre-planned this out before. So Lee very kindly let me log into his account, and this piece of software, IPVM. I'm not going to go too much into this, but it's a great tool to use to working out the DORI standard. And I don't mean the fish. That stands for detect, observe, recognize, and identify. So to put this into layman's terms, I did a bit of research myself, and I'm not going to go too much onto this, but if we kind of look at this image, you see these like layers: identify, which means indefinitely you know who that person is; recognize, then observe, and then we've got detect. So each individual camera is going to have this DORI standard that you can work to, which is pixels per meter. Is it, Lee? Is it ppm? I think they call it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not an expert on it. I know about quoting. Lee knows more than I, but I just thought, just for this video, I would just show this, because on the proposal we need to define what the camera is and what its purpose is. If it's for identify, recognize, observe, or detect. So we'll go through that and say where we're going to use it. So in this property, this is your sort of standard, I'd say, off-the-shelf high-end residential house. It's a detached property with two sides alleyways. You've got a driveway, and so you're going to have camera at the gates here, and we want this one to be identify. We've also got a PTZ camera to the right front hand side of the building. On the left hand side, we've got a turret camera fixed, and then on the left side, you can see we've just put a line in here, and we're going to say we're going to mask this off. And then on the rear side of the house, and on the rear patio area, we've got another camera there. So you can see these levels, and this software automatically sets these distances for you, so you can apply to the DORI standard. And then what I'm going to do is then I'm going to just I've took a screenshot of this, then I'm going to embed that into the proposal. So we've got 6 cameras that we're going to add to the proposal. Let's jump back. So our cameras are here. So we've started adding in the entrance. So let's just rename this. Let's call this the drive, or gates even. Let's call that the gates. And then we add the side. Let's just say front left. And then we'll do side left.
And the nice thing about this for me is that the guys on site know what to put down as the camera names. So sort of predefine it with the customer, where it's going, what we're going to call it. And then when the guys are doing the install, they can have a look at the quote and just name it in the right way.
And then if I want to just copy this, for example, so this area here, I can either add an area, or this time I'm just going to say copy this. I'm going to say new description here. This will be D6, which will be rear patio on that area. Okay. And then what I've done is I've set these areas so they are defined as a camera area template. And what that does is it gives me this heading content where we can then, you'll see it's tagging it through. So we don't need to type this in. We can put the field of view, we can put the IR range, its recording type, its location, the objective of what we're trying to do, and its transmission. So how it's going to be wired from the camera back to the MVR. I've also put in a header icon as well, which makes it look nice. So let's say you've got rear patio. Let's choose one that hasn't got an image in it yet. That's one of these. I did see one did not have an image. Which one was it? It was gate. So P2Z. So if I say gate, for example, it's not going to be a bullet camera. So I'm just going to go select image, go to my asset library, and I've got my turret there. I'll select that and then save. Okay. So we've built the locations of the cameras in this tree structure. So that makes sense now. So to the customer, it references everything that they understand that you've walked around and told them what you're thinking you're going to do. And we've also got the head end equipment, and this is where the NVR is going to go. So we've put an NVR in here. We've added in this NVR. You can also, this comes from Mast, and then you can select different hard drive and storage as well. So let's say I want to do 6 TB, I can save that. And what we needed earlier is we actually give an option so the customer can choose if they want to go from an 8 channel or maybe they want to have a bigger capacity. So you'll see that these items are currently grayed out, and that's because we make this option over here. So we added an option which said NVR selection, 8 channel or 16 channel. Now 8 channels enough because is enough. We know there's going to be 6 cameras. There's only got capacity of 2. They may want more, and you know what cameras are like. If people have cameras, they always want more. So we're giving the client the choice here, and you can define which option it starts on when they get the quote. So if you want to say it starts on 16 channel, well then the 16 channel one is then selected. If you want it to start on the 8 channel, it will then start on the 8 channel one. And you can build your own options, or you can add an option from your own library, or if you have a live link catalog. And what Mast Digital does here, there's different types of detector options. So here you've got stuff for Ajax, different ones for different locations, comparisons, and all these different type of options that they are just built, which is part of the Mast Live Link catalog. You can also embed in videos as well, which I will come to later down the line. Any questions so far on the chat, Andy? Anyone asking any questions before?
No questions as of yet.
No questions.
If you have any, we'll try and get them answered.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just add in a camera. So let's do the rear patio. I'm just going to shut this down. So you've got this TOC camera here. Let me just delete this out. So let's just get rid of that. Let's go to turret cameras, and then this is already pulled through from Mast. So this one has more options, so you can select it, and then you can choose the megapixel 5, 8. Then you can select the color. It changes the back boxes then as well.
And this is a new feature you made, isn't it, Lee? This one.
This is a new one, yeah. This is new.
Nice.
So this is new. So you can you can either tick this button and let the customer choose the finish, or you can choose it. So you can say, right, well, it's fixed on 5 megapixel, but I want the client to choose his own color.
Yeah.
On that camera, but we're going to go for black on there first. It automatically selects the black junction box, the default one. So I found this information from Mast, which is the most popular back box. So it automatically defaults to the back box, but you can go in and change that back box at a later date anyway. Let's add the product. So that's gone straight in there. It's showing the accessory, it's showing the back box. We can also add cable to this. So we can say, let's add accessory. Let's go to link catalogs, choose Mast. Now we can either use these categories which are identical to the Mast's website, or I can just use the search button here. So let's say Cat 6, black. So there's a reel, and that's on a 305. So let's use this, put that in, can add that in. So we can split the quantity. Let's say we don't want to use 305 meters of cable per camera, because that just doesn't make any sense. So we can use this little button here, and we can split the quantity. So we can say it's going to be 35 meters of a 305 box, like that. And we can then say hide the accessory on the proposal. as well. So we don't need to say, we can just put a note on there saying includes cables.
You can also add all of your other bits and bobs. So I added all my RJ45 connections. I know it's a little cost, but a little of a lot, it does go a long way.
Do that. RJ45. Which are your ones you use?
Simply 45. All we ever use, Simply 45.
Which ones are they?
If you type in Simply, it should just
Oh, Simply.
There you go.
These ones, yeah, Simply 45.
The green
These
ones.
Unshielded?
Yeah.
Yeah, shoot, do you get 50 in a box or 100?
I think you get, I can't remember now, 100 maybe? 50.
Yeah.
Say it's a box of 50. I can never remember anything
So
about.
we can say we want 2 of 50. Like that. We save that. So we've got our connections, we've got the cable, we know the camera. We can also add labor to this as well if we wanted to. So I could just say first fix cable in, let's just allow 2 hours. Let's allow an hour second fix in, so we can add that in. Now the good thing with WeQuote is it will then flag up and say, hey, Lee, there's another line on this quote where it's got different labor to what you're saying here now. So I can click this button and it will go, right, put the labor on that item as well. So I can tick that button, I can click save.
So the benefit I find with that, Lee, from a user point of view, is that if you have, say, a client who says, right, I definitely want 4 cameras, but actually, what would it cost to have another camera around the back? Do you know what I mean? So in that situation where you can add the camera in, you can add in that extra cable, the extra labor that's required, and in the quote you have it as an option, and they can just turn it on and off. And again, usually it makes life easier, and they'll go for it.
I don't know if you know about this as well. So you can actually click this button on here, and you can make the quantity adjustable on the web quote. So you can set the minimum. So you can say the minimum is 1, but the maximum might be, if it's a 16 channel, then you might say the maximum is 60.
Right.
And it will then multiply the accessories, the labor, and it'll work all of that out as the client's then adjusting the quantity on the actual camera itself. Cool. So I'll put that in on this area. Let's say on the rear patio, we're offering them more than 1, and we might say the minimum quantity is going to be 1, and the max quantity is number 2. Could someone just turn the lights off on me in here? Put the lights back on. Oh God! I'm telling you, Jeremy Beagle's going to come bursting through the door in a minute. I'm telling you, bringing him back from the dead. Right. Yeah. So we can say max quantity is 2. So we can without going too common into an option itself, we can just do a little small option on the individual line item. So I can save that, but I've configured this product from Mast. So this is a live link part from Mast. But you see the labor here, we might want to say, well, every single time I will use this camera or with the new version of it, I want to keep all that labor and all those accessories with it. So I can edit the master product from Mast, and this is unique in your own account. I can then go to the accessories and I can add the accessories from the quote item. I can also add in the labor from the quote item as well. I can save that, update labor, save. So if I delete this camera out, next time I add it in, everything's there again. And this is the time saving. So if you do something once, you don't need to do it again.
And it's true, because you can set so many things up on it, and before you know it, you've got a bank of 100 products, which might have the smallest of accessories, but then you never forget about them. HDMI leads, if you're doing KVMs and stuff like that, they're just there ready to go.
Yeah. Is Jenny still online? Andy, we just ring Jenny, because there's a few people messaging me direct on WhatsApp saying, is the webinar still on?
Okay, let me check.
So let's add that. Done. Okay. And also I want to make it so select the color, and we can also make it available just on the web quote. So let's go back to 2, and we're going to say that's 1. So this is on the rear patio area. Save. Right, let's move on. So next bit then, you may need to go through the price adjustments, and this section here is where you will massage the figures over the line. So if you need to do a bit of a deal, or you need to give someone a drink, whatever is going on, this is the place to do it. This is the 1s and 2s when it comes to the pricing. And you can do a global discount. You can do
Global increase.
global increase, whatever it is. Even if you want to just give it a fixed price, fixed margin, do whatever you want. So let's say we want to do a bit of a discount. We could offer the customer minus, let's go minus 10%. You can tick this button and then that update, and that's going to then pull through and show us a discount for the customer. But we don't want to mention the D word. We don't like to mention discounts. No, we don't want to be giving out discounts. So we're going to update the price. We're going to leave it as is. I'm going to untick that, update. We don't want to do discount. You can do it, but we're not in this case. In some scenarios as well, you may have to do a reduced VAT, reverse VAT, or the friends of the industry VAT. I don't know VAT.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, VAT free. This is where you'll do it, and you'll manage it in this section here. And you can then set, because certain building types or new build installations, there may be a reduced VAT in certain types of properties or different types of bills or different things like charities and stuff like that. And this is where you will do it here. And then you can set it globally, or you can do it on the individual line. So if you're saying that the CCTV may be exclusive of VAT, but the intruder alarm it's usually the intruder alarm on new properties is actually VAT free. I don't think they class the CCTV. Don't hold me ransom to that. But it's mainly for new build properties. They do a reduced VAT. So now I'm going to go over to the proposal, and WeQuote specializes in helping our customers pre-build their templates. So we help you make your template for your business. I just want to really emphasize this, that as a company, we hold your hand and make it our top priority in helping you win more work. And that happens by streamlining the quoting process. So standardizing it, speeding it up. So taking something that's quite complicated and technical, and we're going to start cookie cutting it. And it starts by making a clearly defined proposal to your customers. So one of the big things for a customer to agree a quote is the speed in which you get the quote back to them. Let's just generate this one. So if you can get a quote back to your customer very quickly, then you're more likely to win the job. Because if they're chasing you to get a quote done and they're ringing you, and I've been there and done it. Look, I've been on site. I'm up a ladder. I'm doing stuff on site. Customers ringing me. Yeah, I saw to get the quote tonight. Next minute, I'm still on site at 9:30 at night. Gets in. Last thing I want to start doing is doing a quote, and I'm absolutely shattered. But you got to do it. You promised to do it. Then you sat up all night till 2 o'clock in the morning. You're sending out a quote, and then you just press the red button because you've just had enough, and you're making mistakes and sending quotes over with wrong prices. You've missed stuff off.
It is something that you did for us at the start as well, Lee, isn't it? You went through, helped us create a quote based on a template I was using, and constantly going in on Word and editing and changing things, searching all over the internet for different prices and everything. And this just brings it all in one easy platform. It's great.
I think I've still got the message, mate, you sent me with a screenshot saying won my first job.
It's a massive difference from the traditional way that I was quoting anyway. And I think it's, for some people, it's probably a bit of a scary process to try and go through as well. But you guys, you generally made it dead easy for me. We contacted other companies before knowing about you. And the process just put me off massively, but it was dead easy. If anyone wants to do it, it's very simple. Your quote, does it look better than mine? Well, maybe.
So I've put this one together over the past few days. I did say to Lee, I'm gonna make a Rolls Royce of a security quote. And what sort of shown here is, we can use the traditional SSIB template, which it has its purpose. Pictures, videos, choice. For customers, you're more likely to win the job. Sometimes it's not always about price. It's about, giving a customer choice between colors of cameras, spec, sizes of NVRs and things like that.
I mean, there's still people out there doing it on scraps of paper and taking a picture. And, I went to a client the other day for quite a large job, and he said, "Oh, this is what I've been sent so far." And I said, well, wait till you see our quote. You know, it's completely different, and it looks 10 times better.
So what I've tried to do here is a mixture of a SSAIB defined proposal, but then sort of revamping it, integrating the WeQuote technology, which is our web quoting tech. So one of the other benefits of having a web-based quote is, you know, if the customer's looked at it, you know how long the customer's looked at it for, and you know when they're looking at it. Okay. The other thing is, if they haven't looked at it, like I mentioned before, if increases, then this price can change. The other thing is, you have total control over a web quote. And what I mean by that is, if you want to switch it off, you can switch it off. The customer can't view it. Let's say you've made a mistake after you've sent the quote, you can update it as well. So you can put it into a new revision. You can just delete the link, resend the link. You can't do that on an email with a PDF. I'm not saying you can't do PDFs. Yes, this converts to a PDF. So you've got the choice of web or PDF. I'm not bothered. I'm just saying, if you use a web quote, it's going to be more beneficial for your business.
We only send out web quotes.
Yeah, you made the change, didn't you?
Made the change, right? And the nice thing is, I saw the other day on under notes, when you go on your quote, you can see now how many times they've viewed it.
Yes, yeah.
That's a great.
And we're just going to keep making that better. The analytic on how the customer is engaging the quote is so important, because if you can't measure and improve that, you know, you're always trying to think to yourself, okay, for me, when I was running my installation business, I wanted the customer to understand what I was selling, and I never wanted to get myself in a situation. Hello, sir.
Stu's joined.
Yeah, just joined. I don't know what's up with this video though. So having a clear, defined proposal to a customer is helping them make that choice. And this is what we're trying to do here. So we're saying, here's my previous case studies. You know, you're selling your business, okay, and the brands that you install. So this is based off the SSIB template with a bit of a spin on it. Then we've got our design layout. Now we can make this interactive. You can zoom in and out and stuff like that. But for this demo, I'm just doing it and then here we're saying visual surveillance system. So here's where the system starts. So this heading is automatically pulling through from the system, which I was telling you about at the beginning. So it's predefined content. You can just change this image yourself. You can retype this text, and here you can have a video explaining about TIOX, you know, whatever it is. The customer's like, oh, I get it now. You know, the customer will sit there and watch these. User-generated content is so important. I can't remember the last time I actually bought something myself without looking on a Google review, and, you know, before I spend any money. You know, even an electric toothbrush, you Google it. I got myself an electric scooter, Google it, watching reviews. So why would you not do the same thing when you're trying to sell them a high-tech surveillance system? Well, then just give them the content there straight away within the proposal.
Yeah, and Mast have done a good job on some of their videos. You know, you can get a good bit of information for the client. And the nice thing is about using videos from Mast is they're not done by another installer. You know, there is other installers and other people out there doing videos, but their videos are pretty cool. Link
off to Dahua security website, so you can link this over the customer wants to do. So you're keeping the customer engaged with the quote and not going off looking on YouTube, and you're showing them exactly the tech that you're going to be providing on their property. And then this is where the area header pulls in for a camera. So we've got the gate, the observed, 50 meters, the recording type. Here's the camera quantity. Now you can actually, so when it comes to the price, you can, here I haven't displayed it, but I can display the unit price, the unit cost. I can give an area breakdown. Here, what we're doing is saying, do you want 8 megapixel or 5 megapixel? And you'll see the price goes down.
You can have them options for multiple cameras in different areas as well. So if you've got 2 cameras at the front that need to be one resolution, and the ones at the back can be either or, you can just have that option to change both at the same time, can't you, Lee?
Yeah, that's it. You can, whatever your mind can take you with an option, you can build and nest them as deep as you want. Not only that, like I said, you can embed the videos like we've done here. So this video, there's on our how-to. You go on our website, you go to resources, just search embedding videos. There's a video on how to do that. You can do that right across the platform, in an area, in a system, in a subsystem, in an option, wherever you want it really. You want that to display in the quote, and you can just say to have it play, have it so it's auto silent. Up to you how you want to do it. This could be a video of you walking around one of your jobs. I used to do that myself. When I used to do access control systems, I would just explain the door entry system outside the gate. This is how it works. And then go inside and show them the video door monitors working. You know, one of the best sales tools I ever used to do was showing my customers what, and they'd be like, I'll have a bit of that. So yeah, generating your own content is really important, I think. But obviously Mast, you can use their stuff as well. And then this is what we did before. So before we had here, we can make this adjustable. So the client can then upgrade the camera himself here, and they can choose their finish. So you think how much of a pain in the backside that is if you're trying to, the customer says, oh, I want them all in black, I want them all in grey. Now, if you want to, you can just tick a button and just let them choose themselves. So this, I think, Lee, this is the first time you've seen this working, is it?
It is, yeah. I think it's brilliant, mate. Really good idea. You know, from a usability point of view for the client, fantastic. And from our point of view, we're not having to go into the quote and add a black one, a grey one, a white one, 2.8, whatever, and then actually add an option for every single one. This is just one block, one product, and that client then gets that choice, which is really good.
See, this is why I wanted to save your reaction. They'd say that I want live reactions. Your jaws are meant to hit the floor at that point, going, wow. So we choose black, we update that, and it automatically changed the back box as well, which is what you want it to do. So we are fully compliant with the SSAIB here, but it's starting to look a little bit nicer than just a simple Word document. And then when we get through here, then we start to then show NVR.
Just on there, Lee, if you just go up a little bit back to where the cameras were and you've got all the cables and everything below it, that was where you were saying that you can hide these items so they don't have to be shown. So all of the little extra bits that we need, RJ45s, cables and everything else, you can have them removed. So the client doesn't need to see them. I mean, we're accounting for the cost, but they don't care about RJ45.
Hide them, save, and then all I do is, you'll see how quick this is. Let's refresh. Very proud of how quick that is. That's my business partner. That is a very, very clever guy. Genius computer programmer, Robert. So those items now have disappeared. And so you're showing the stuff that you want them to see. You don't need to show them in minute detail of screws and RJ45s, but you just need to make sure that you've got all those bits covered. You know, all the little costs just start to mount up. Especially when it comes to cables, connections, clips, screws, plugs, it just starts to up all your hands.
And again, once you've done it once on the master product, every time you add that product in, you can deselect it if you're not using that one, or you can add more of that product if you need to. So again, dead easy.
We've got our NVR, and we before we were showing so this is one that Lee made, NVR selection, 16 channel or 8 channel. So we're giving them the choice. So if they want to be a door hinge and not spend the extra 100 quid, or if they want to think, well, actually 100 quid for those extra 8 cameras is not a lot to get an extra 8 camera zones. So you may as well upgrade.
And can you hide the price on them, Lee, on the option?
Yes, you can hide the price.
And you can also, because obviously the way I've got mine set is similar to how you set this, but each individual item on the quote, you can have it line set for pricing, can't you? So you can actually say the price of each thing on the quote.
So I can hide the price there, save. I can hide the price on there, save. And then let's say I want to show the item cost. I'll go to my editor. So this tool is the back end of the proposal generator. So this is the tool that builds the proposals. So you have a standardized template, which will help you make. So let's just drop down into the item lists. So So we go to here, go to our, just expand the container. Let's go to our item list. Okay. I want to show my price there, and you'll see what it does is it then puts my price on there. I wanted to just show the area total. So I'm just going to show an area total, put that in as well. That will then give me the total of that area or that camera. So I might want to show all the accessory prices, up to you how you want to do it. I could say, show the accessory price. Maybe I don't want the accessory to be indented, and it can change the layout of how it's working. So let's finish editing that. Let's just refresh. So what I've done there is you'll see that these accessories are indented to the parent. There's no price. And at the moment, there's no price for the area. If I refresh that, you'll see, oh, there we go. And we start to then show prices if we want to or not.
Magic of WeQuote.
Makes sense. Yeah. And then you'll look here now, that option doesn't show the price. So when it comes to displaying costs to the customer, displaying product costs, displaying the labor, you can do it any way you want. You know, if you didn't want to show any cost at all, you can switch that off or switch it on. You've just seen that. If you want to just show them a total cost at the end of the proposal, like this, you can do that. If you want to switch this off, you can switch that off. You can have it including VAT or excluding VAT, up to you, or you can then hide the VAT or include the VAT and then don't show the VAT. So if you're a non-VAT registered company and you obviously charge VAT for your materials, but then you can't charge it to the client, we can handle that as well. So at least you're recovering the costs, but obviously you're not charging VAT on the labour. So that we can set your account up in that way as well. And here then what we did was on this proposal, we then get into sort of like the nitty gritty, the terms and conditions. So it's the field of view, you know, what is the observed, recognized. So this is what Lee builds in his quotes, which he's taught me about because I didn't know anything about this. I used to just slap a 2.8mm turret camera on the high-end resi house, say that'll do. Whereas Lee does it more technical, he uses the lenses. I must say that the last time I did a CCO was on my own house. I used Master, I used the TOP range. It was absolutely superb system.
Yeah, everyone likes the TOP.
Then we've got this, and you can put hyperlinks off in there. You can pull those through for any data protection stuff. So you can pretty much make anything you want with the proposal. Let me just go down to the bottom again.
And again, you're making sure that everyone's informed of what's happening. So all the stakeholders involved in the job, you know, anybody can look at this and easily read it and understand it. I work with old boy farmers, you know, and even they'll go on here and go through and change colors of cameras or add and remove things. And it's surprising actually how many people find it very easy to use. But my quote's got a lot of information in. And for me, not having to go through every single time and add these bits in or change it. And now with the new features of WeQuote, it's made it even easier.
So that's pretty much quoting a CCTV system using WeQuote. And I think we've added in materials.
Want to add in a product just with the red product option as well?
Oh, okay. So let's just go to MBR equipment. Let's just go to office. Let's go to add a product. So then you've got your own products. So you can add your own random parts from Amazon if you buy up some from Amazon. You can then link catalog. So this section here, when you click this drop down, if you are linked to Mast or anyone else, it will then show in this list. Okay. And select Mast Digital. Let's go to networking. Let's put in a PoE switch. Oh, they've done a nice job organizing the catalog. I wish all the other suppliers would do this. This is nice to use. PoE.
And it's great because if people have been using the Mast Digital website, especially the new one, and then they come across to using this, everything is filtered in exactly the same way.
Which?
There you go.
My laptop's running slow. 1 second. Need to boost it.
Turbo.
1 second. The laptop's doing a little fit.
Add that 24-pot one in, Lee, just so you can see how you add it in.
Second, mate.
Person who turned the lights off, turn the internet off as well.
There we go. Oh, that's just my laptop going crazy. Right, let's just start that in. and then equipment, offices, product, linked mast. Let's just go POE 24 volts. That in, and that's gone straight in. And also, you can choose to either add the switch to your toolkit, which is this up here, or you can choose not to do that as well. So that's what this little tick button is here. Do that. So if you don't want things to just keep adding into your favorites box, you just want to add them randomly just for that job, you just untick that and it will stay unticked then, depending on what its previous state was. There's also this little button up here, which is very good, which is then showing all of the products. Just don't forget this. These two trees are a filtration system. It's there to then very quickly look at all the costs. So the VSS or CCTV system, as I call it, that's costing £6,500. Then it's breaking down my bullets and turrets. But then if I say, let's go to gates, you see it's like MBR. It's not showing anything in there because I'm selecting on MBRs. But if I click this button, it's saying show all of the items within that area, regardless of what I am selecting over here. So if I'm choosing this area, it doesn't matter what subsystem or system I've selected, it's going to show all the items. So if you have got Ajax in there, you've got a WeTech network going on, maybe there's access controls, whatever it is, it will show all of the items within that area once this button is ticked.
Like all the AV stuff that Mast do, massive ranges of AV, that's their bag, isn't it, as well? So there's a huge selection of products that can be added, and then you can have, like I have a template for CCTV, I have a template for doing networking and Wi-Fi, and then another one for doing audio. So you can tweak your quote template to match whatever job you're doing.
Let's say we want to send this quote to the customer. We've gone through it. We're happy with the way it looks. We're pretty pleased with the proposal output now. We want to send it to the client. So go to proposal view. You click send. It's flagging up saying that there's something not matching. So I am always trying to fix if you're going to start off on the wrong foot. And what I mean is I used to send so many quotes out, and then I'd be like, oh, now I'd look at it and go, I've sold the camera at cost. I've not priced enough for the camera. I've missed this off. I've missed that off. It's the costs of things or whatever it is. And what we're trying to do is flag it up to you. Maybe there's a mismatch of addresses, 0 item costs. And we're like stopping you from sending a quote till you confirm that you're happy with these negative costs. Obviously, because the labor on that one is not got a margin on it. Confirm. Send proposal. I will paste this in the chat if anyone wants to have a look at it. So let me just copy this. Andy, if I send this to you, can you paste it in the chat?
Yeah, no problem.
And then anyone who's on the webinar can have a look at it.
Absolutely.
Let me send you that, mate. Where is he? There he is. You can just send that. Everyone can have a little look. So if someone wants to sign and accept the proposal for me, that would be great. Nothing rude in the signature box. So what happens then is once this goes out, then the customer can obviously sign, accept it, you send it out, mate. So if someone wants to have a little look at that in the chat, have a little look at it, mate. Someone wants to sign the quote for me. Do you want to sign it, Andy?
I will sign it.
Or Lee, someone sign it for me. Open it up and sign it. What?
I'll let Andy have the honours.
And accept it. There we go. So then I want to push this into a project. So I'm going to say new house project. You can give it a project then. You can assign it. So the customers then agreed this proposal. And you can also do revisions and change orders as well, which is quite a powerful tool. So if the customers accepted the quote, done an invoice off the platform, you can do new change orders. And then what this does is so they know, like, tweak a quantity or move something up and down, remove things or add things. It's then tracking all those changes there. So this could even be down to you needed to do a change order because the suppliers and the price update. It's up to you then. That then tracks then as an actual change order to the client. You can send that, you can view it by items, you can view it by system. So when it comes to revisions and change orders, we could also helping you with that massively, managing that process, because it's a bit of a pain in the arse when customers start to move the goalposts. You change,
Always happens.
the nuisance. It's absolutely horrible. And then you can actually download that as a PDF or with payments, or even do as a web quote again. And then you can view that then and see how that views. And then the customer can see that then all this is being saved to the project, keeping all the documentation related to that customer and that job in a nice organized place. And I won't go too much into it, but we do have our projects section. That quote that we just had there, which is the new house one, you'll see it's been accepted, which is that CCTV job there, and you can start to invoice off that as well. And so you can invoice it by the line items, you can invoice it by the areas, you can just say, okay, I want all the cameras first to deposit, whatever it is, or whatever payment structure you've implemented, you can then do that by a percentage as well. Here, entirely up to you. Let's just say, well, 100% of the materials, confirm, it will then generate as an invoice, and then we can tweak that either by items, not items, do it by the system, just do it by the quote number, however you want to do it. We're not bothered. You can just type in whatever you want. And if you want to change the customer name details and send it to somewhere else, you can do that too. And you can still view all of the items that were on that invoice. So I'll just let you that one sink in for a second while we use that. So yeah, you can call the invoice wherever you want, but then you can still track what items are on it. Then you go to purchase orders. You can then create a new purchase order. We're going to our home CCTV. It's then pulling through the supplier that we expect from. So let's say I want to put all this through to a mast. I'm ticking everything. Add the items. Here's our purchase order for the mast here. We can then send to supplier, and we can pull this through, put the supplier email in. We will be very soon, there's going to be a third option here, which will automatically load into the mast basket, which we're working on with Mast Guys. So that is in the pipeline. So yet again, we want to try and speed up all the ordering process. The job's being won, you invoice the client, then you're going to start ordering the stuff. And we just want to make it one click, bump, ordered. It's going to either order to your home address, your business address, or the site address, and just streamline the whole process of, order, because no one gets paid to order stuff. It's just a pain in the backside to go large order.
And this is one thing that I found really handy, is that if you are using other suppliers for electrical parts, for consumables and stuff, you can just send that purchase order straight out from WeQuote as soon as it's been accepted by the client. And like previously, you would have to go back in, find all the items that client wanted to order, go and find them all online again, add them to your basket, etc., etc. Whereas this, as soon as that client signs, click the button, off it's gone.
Print out the POs, and obviously you can set who's ordered by, where it's being delivered to, all the basic stuff that you need when you come into a purchase order. You can then also make a picking list, so you can print this out. It then tracks what quote it's from. We do have a new stock module, which we're just about to launch out, a new version, which then links through. So if you do keep stock, this is imminently coming out in the next couple of weeks now. You will be able to see stock versus the purchase order versus the pick list. And so you're not over ordering things, and you can just pinch bits from one job into another job and reallocate those costs.
It's like me, I've got a box full of back boxes. You won't believe how many back boxes I've got. And I need to get all my back boxes in there because, keep ordering more and more. A van full of them.
I've got a garage full of back boxes. Electrical ones and everything, CCTV. You can export the quote data once it's been accepted. So if you want to push this into financial stuff, you can do that as well. We also integrate with our Snag app for engineers. This is basically a time clocking, project management, scheduling. We've got some new features coming out on this as well. So currently we don't have scheduling live, but that's one of the big things we're working on. We integrate with Zoho CRM. So if you use Zoho, very, very, very powerful CRM system. We actually use it ourselves as a company. Xero accountancy, QuickBooks, Zoho Books, and also Stripe integration. And we also have Zapier, which is like a third-party integration software, which we have the full set of APIs into. So if you want to do some quirky stuff like lead generation and form filling, you can use Zapier, and we've got an API. And you can be really clever, like some of my other customers, where it's auto starting building quotes. You can send a survey form out to a customer, you know, capturing the field as in their site details, what their requirements are, and it will auto build quotes in WeQuote. I'm not going to dive into that because it's probably a separate webinar. You can have as many users as you want. We don't charge on users for WeQuote. 1 second. Someone's just sending me a message here. So yeah, just touching on obviously the users, can't do two things. That's typical, but they're trying to read and do a webinar. This doesn't work, does it? Yeah, let me just show you this. So our pricing model in WeQuote, go to WeQuote.cloud, open this up and go to pricing. Okay, really important. Fair pricing that scales with the business. So if anyone who's already on WeQuote, just log in, you might log off now because it's just, I'm talking about pricing. But we have 3 tiers. Light package at £35 a month, the Pro at £88 a month, and Premium at £250 a month. What's the difference? Well, let's say what the difference is. Let's talk about what you get. So it's unlimited send quotes across all 3 packages. Unlimited users. So that's really important. We don't charge on users on the WeQuote platform. A lot of people charge on users. I came up with this pricing because I did not like the price per user when I was using other people's software many, many years ago. Because if you're ever having a bad time in work, you know, you've got to still keep paying for all them staff just to log into the platform. It makes no sense. The point of this is I'm not trying to put walls in front of you growing your business. That's why I say unrestricted features. So if you're on the Lite, you still get all the same features as the Pro and the same as the Premium. The only restriction is the maximum quote value on a £35 month is 140,000. It's the maximum quote value. And this is for companies that really turn over around about 210,000 a year. That's, you know, 200,000 a year. That's your sort of turnover budget, depending on the size of the business, really. So it's more like on turnover. So if you're having a bad time, you can go down. If you're doing well, it's going up. And the point of WeQuote is my job is to get you to a premium account. That's mine and Andy's job. How do we do that? By helping our customers streamline the quoting process. Because, like I say, I always say no one gets paid to quote, absolutely nobody, and it's a necessary evil. And quoting's a numbers game, so the more quotes that we get out the door, the more likely we're going to win the job. So it gets the quote to the client in the most efficient and most timely manner. Big tick for the client. You also have it clearly defined. Big tick. It looks great. It's got all the bells and whistles on it. It's clearly defined, you know, and then you start to organically grow the business. That is our purpose of WeQuote, is to increase sales and then also increase the profitability of your projects. Like I say before, what? And save time. Yeah.
Think about time.
Also, you get all of us. You get how good's our tech support lead?
It's not bad. I'd say about a 10 out of 10.
Thank you. So I know what it's like. You know, people message us at 10 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, Sunday, Saturday. You will get a response. I've been in everyone's shoes where you're sat up in an evening quoting a job, and I used to use an American piece of software, and I'd have to wait till 2 o'clock in the afternoon to them to answer. They charged me $180 a month just for the tech support because it didn't bloody work at the time, and there's no one to help me. And it's like, when you run your own business and you're quoting, It's very lonely, and I don't want that to be for my customers. They know WeQuote's more like a membership than a price. We want to provide amazing technical support, holding people's hands in delivering amazing proposals. Look, and I understand people don't want to be on tech support and pestering us all the time, stuff like that, but it's our job to make it a success for you and your business. And like I say, I want to get you all to here. And you're not going to be bothered if you're paying $250 a month, because you're going to be smashing it on sales. We're going to streamline the quoting process. We do charge for the add-ons. We charge £10 per month per add-on. So if you do links to Zoho or Zero, we just charge £10 on the account level. If you do have lots of engineers, we charge £10 per engineer for the Snag app, which is a separate application, which is part of WeQuote. We do the bespoke onboarding. So we do a free onboarding service, which is good enough for pretty much 99% of everyone. But if you want all out, all bespoke, we do packages from £850 where we get, it basically just, it's completely bespoke. But like I say, you want to speak to Andrew about that, and he will then show you other examples of what we've done for other people. And we can tailor it for your needs and however you run your business. Any questions on pricing before I jump off that? Is there any questions jumped up on it?
No, not on pricing, Lee, no. There was one just around the template that you obviously just demonstrated, just to say that obviously WeQuote users could have that template in their account, so it's already pre-built. So
those templates we can drop into their account.
Yeah,
that's fine. So there's another little template which I can show you. Let me just load this one up for you as well. Let's see, I don't think it's in this one. Look at this. Yeah. So we can do things like this. So we have a library of templates you can look at. So when you sign up, it will drop in the templates depending on the systems that you. So if you say you do Ajax, if you say you do Dahua, we're going to try and speed the process up of getting you up and running as quickly as possible. Someone's messaging. Okay. And here we can say, embedded the video about the Ajax alarms, options, give them choice. And this can all pull through if you really sign up to the Mast catalogue. So all of these options are just pre-built for you to just use and drop in. You're not having to start to reinvent the wheel and spend days and evenings setting all of this stuff up. There'll be a template you can build up from, and then you can just pull the options through the options library, depending on the supplier. Mast have already got all these options in their library. When you're subscribed to the catalogue, you can use them in your quotes. Okay, let's see what else we can go through.
And the link to Mast Digital is dead easy, isn't it? Like when the guys sign up, dead easy for you to organize that link. It's not like a big tedious process of getting different people to sign things off. It's quite simple.
So when you first log on, you'll have a list of all the suppliers. Search for them, click the request access button. That will go off then and saying pending. The Mast guys will then approve you. That's if you've got an account, or they might reach out to you, just speak to you first. Make sure you're not a tire kicker. We don't want to be a homeowner that's doing his own CCTV. You've got to be an industry professional to get a Mast account. I don't know how I got an account. But yeah, and then once that goes live, you can then see all your pricing. And it tells you then when it's last updated. So this is really one of the biggest features that separates us from some of our competitors. All of our competitors are basically uploading their price lists from the suppliers. WeQuote connects to the suppliers' ERP systems. We connect to their website. We invest our time and facilitate all of these live links. So that means then when I look at Mast Digital, it's telling me, well, this was updated today. I don't need to worry about the price being out of date. WeQuote is handling that. It's taking care of it. It's showing me when it was last updated. So it's when we got all kinds of alarms and monitoring things that go off in the background, it's always keeping the price up to date. And the suppliers, the manufacturing distributors are growing. We're just about to launch another 16 distributors on the platform. The pro audio video market. And obviously the security industry is growing and growing. And we will be at the security event on the Mast stand next week, which I'm looking forward to. So if we fancy a big session, Pop World, I don't know what that is. I think it's a Wednesday night. Could be a late one. Might turn up Thursday.
Yes, definitely will be a late one.
If you want to see me do some Velociraptor impressions in Pop World, get down there on a Wednesday night. And then also, which I'll just show on my account, which makes a bit more sense. So if we go to projects and check here, obviously on this, we do have the Snag app, but it's not linked up to this account. If that was linked up, you would get all the time and project management stuff in there. I think that is it for now, because I don't want this webinar to go on for too long. So if I then jump into some questions, so I'm just going to let open mic it now, lads. If anyone wants to speak, let's speak now.
There's one that might be useful for a few people. So question is, if a quote for equipment obviously includes a subscription, is the subscription ongoing? So how would that be handled?
Okay. In the proposal, so in answer to that question, when you're building subscriptions, you need to do that on the configure. So on the configure, you'll have subscription types. So let's just say we have alarm service level agreements. Okay. So I'll put that in. So we've got a service level agreement, a subscription category. Then I'm going to add a subscription type. We might have gold. Then we can set that monthly or annually. Cost price, let's say 25. Let's put 45. Let's add another one. Silver, monthly, 50, 100. So we can, what that is we can attach this service to a product. A bit like it's a bit like a labor. So we were adding an accessory. So let me just go and just build a little very simple quote. So I'm just going to go new quote, select the customer, and let's just go service level agreement, create. Okay. Now I can add my own custom line, give it a description. So it'll be SLA. We're saying what we're going to do for this customer. It's whatever. Just put in anything there. So just add. Then I'm going to add a subscription to it and choose which one you want. Gold, add. I'm also going to put an option in here. So I'll go from my library and I'll go to my service level agreements, add, and then I can then take this product that I've made and I'm going to then add it to that service level agreement. So then when I view, this very quickly, I'm not going to choose a proposal. Just want to show how that's going to then look, and let's add an option in there, finish editing that. Okay. So then in my proposal, I've got my service level agreements here, and then I can do add subscriptions there, put down the bottom, let's go click on that, and there it is, there you see. So if there was different levels of subscriptions, it would then pull through. And then what this does is a subscription, you can choose to either make it add into the total or not have it add it into the total. And then you can assign that then to a Stripe payment if you want to integrate Stripe. Does that clear up the question?
Yeah.
I'll probably do a separate webinar on SLAs and how to set up SLAs, probably.
Is there any plans to link it with Go Cardlessly?
Yeah. I think we already do link to Go Cardless. We use that ourselves. I just don't think we just haven't shown it on the into integration.
Cool.
So any other questions?
There's none of those that have come through.
I think just touching on, just going back to Mast, because obviously this is a Mast related webinar. Something that I found which I thought was really, really good. When I actually installed the CCTV at my house, which I bought the MVR from Mast, they pre-configured the MVR for me. Put the hard drive in, set it all up, give me this nice little document with all the username and passwords all pre-configured for me, and even a little setup guide on how to download and play back video and stuff like that. So it was really, really, really helpful. It's a nice service that. They've also, like WeQuote, they have a very good technical support. I've been to their offices. They have a dedicated room with a load of lads who do technical support. So they're a very hands-on team. I think they log in, team viewer. They are very good. They're very knowledgeable on the products that they distribute.
And they also do all the training, our certified training courses.
Yeah. And you've got Stu Bloom, very good trainer. He knows his stuff. And you could either do an overnight and go on the loco. We might see Ziggy when he's out. But yeah, their training facility is amazing. It's very impressive. I was very impressed with it. I got stuck in my own house. I can just ring them up and show me how to just ringing Stu on a Saturday, which probably shouldn't have done, but I did do because he couldn't get it working. But yeah, they've got a good technical spot. And Lee'll vouch for that because he does this every single day. I'm not on the tools anymore. I've not been on the tools for over a year.
Yeah, 100%. I joined Mast a long while back while we were using Hikvision still, and I was there during the process of them moving over to Dahua. And obviously, it was a bit of a learning curve moving over to Dahua. And it's been brilliant. The support we get from the guys there is always spot on. Again, they answer the phone. They actually talk you through things if you need it. I use it a bit. I use it a lot less now, but when you need it, they are there, which is brilliant.
No more questions. If that's it, I think we'll end the webinar there. Everyone's happy with that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no more questions. So I hope that was.
There is just one, Lee. Just final one. Will it create all the SSIB documents for the alarm zones, terms and conditions, etc.?
You can attach your terms and conditions. You can attach your own version of terms and conditions. That's fine. You just need to do it in the quote editor. At the end, it will allow you to attach.
So
You'll be able to show that.
I'll show you that now. Goes to proposal. If I go down here, terms and conditions, I've switched them off because I don't want it to be slow because it's just a big long set of T's and C's.
Yeah.
And bang, those T's and C's will go in here.
As for zones, you will have to still type in your zone. I think at the minute we've sort of tried to center this more around the CCTV side.
It will be this. So I'll just load that up again. So there's your T's and C's there. And we can make this a hyperlink, so you can have a heads of terms of your terms and conditions, and they can look at it, or you can have like a full War and Peace T's and C's. When it comes to the alarm, I do have the intruder alarm template. So if you do sign up and you're doing a lot of intruder, I can help you set that up. Don't worry about how to make the proposals look sexy. That's our job. Your job is to go out, find the business, build the solution, and the output, leave that down to us, and we'll make it look good. But yeah, we can use this template. So imagine that as these might be your alarm zones, and then you can use the same kind of template here, use little header icons and all stuff like that. But this is all fully customizable, you see, so we can make this look like your branding. If it's green and white, Lee's is, we can tweak that and change that for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more?
I think that's it, Lee.
No. Okay. I'd just like to say a big thank you to Mast Digital for obviously letting us work with them and doing the live link with those guys. So big up to the Mast team because they are an awesome set of people. And also big thank you to Lee Cubtech for giving his time up to help me do this video. So thank you very much, Lee. I really appreciate you giving me time to do this. And Andy, thanks for staying late, mate, and doing this one for me.
Time.
So very appreciative. And also everyone who's actually took the time out to come on this evening and just have a little look at WeQuote, see what it's about. Hopefully you might have learned a little bit of something. You might have liked what you've seen. But yeah, sign up. It's a 21-day free trial. We don't ask for your credit card details or any payments or anything like that. And it's just rolling month. There's no long-term contract. And let us show you what we can do for your business and then go from there. So I just want to say thank you for everyone, and hopefully we'll speak